Yo, it's your boy, Orion, one half of the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video! Hopefully, everyone is having a good Wednesday. Obviously, I got the Gus Johnson highlight reel. Brian Chaffino, what it do? My guy, I know you meant to say, yo. He said two. Yo, just waiting. Pierpont, yo. Duck Dude, we lit. You know we lit. Pierpont, I got to give you props, man. When you sent the list over for the fantasy, I seen the dedication that you were putting into the list. He said best fantasy team in America. You know what? When I was looking at it last night, I was doing a lot of research. I was watching a lot of tape, right? And I was looking over your list. That's one of the better teams that I've seen constructed this season. But not only this season, like in the last maybe 3, 4, 5 years, you did an excellent job. But if you didn't break down, all the picks and the bye week and kind of had that strategy, your draft wouldn't have been as lit. But I got to give you props, man. The only way you lose based off your team is injuries, just like in any, fantasy football season. But I was impressed. You drafted pretty much every way that I would. Like you mentioned, Goddard, obviously being an Eagles fly kind of guy. That was a little high, and you knew that. But to get Hawkinson a little bit later, a couple picks later, I mean, you have your starter in Hawkinson. He'll be the man. And then you can obviously roll with Goddard, here and there if you want to, just depending on with Zach Ertz and everything that he has there. We have gone through a revamp with the YouTube. I hope you guys love it. We got the new banner up top. You can see, obviously, with Muhammad Ali, LeBron James. We got thumbnails on everything now. So everything is looking fresh and so clean. I hope you guys love it. And moving forward, it's going to look like that. So it was time. I put in a lot of work, a lot of dedication trying to go through it. And I hope you guys love it. So I'm going to be going over this list, but I'll acknowledge everyone and say what's up. Right now I'm watching Temple versus UCF. On, I believe it's ESPNU because I'm such a football head. You know what I mean? I'm just all over it. Some of the best games, obviously in college football. NFL Network has the Niners and the Cowboys as well. So I'm just bouncing back and forth. I'm reading. I'm watching tape. Duck Dude says, we lit, and you know that we are. Best fantasy team in America. Pierpont. Ooh, touchdown. UCF. Okay. What up, 6 Inc? Great Gus Johnson reaction. Thank you, man. I mean, he is my favorite. I was hoping that you guys would enjoy that. I was just looking for something fun and different to do. I've been wanting to do a Gus Johnson for a while. I'll probably do a Tony Romo. But Gus Johnson gives you that energy. I feel that if I can vibe with anyone, it's Gus Johnson. Obviously, besides Marcus. He's at his son's Pop Warner practice. So everyone asks, where's Marcus? Where's Marcus? Obviously, if he could, try to be here as much as possible, with our full-time jobs, and he's got, some responsibilities. But I'm going to keep it moving while he's gone. I'm going to keep grinding. And obviously, when he has a chance, if he hops in the chat, obviously, if he gets home in time, he will. But this is going to be an excellent top 5 NFL elite defensive units going into the 2019 season. And I'm glad you enjoyed the Gus Johnson. Go Rams for life. What's good? What's good, my guy? Lawrence Trent, what's up? Logan Reyes, Cowboys. By any chance, possibly, maybe, we'll see. Obviously, Cowboys defense is lit, and I am not a hater, right? I'll give credit where credit's due to any team, even if it's the Cheatriots. Right? Even if it's the Dallas Cowboys. We damn boys, right? Doesn't matter. I'll give credit where credit is due. Panthers at 5. Interesting. Front 7, sure. Overall, doubt it. Ooh. Fighting words, 6 Inc. Lawrence Trent, Ravens at number 1. They used to be at number 1, but not really that much anymore. But I still have some respect for some of the guys on the D. Lost a lot of guys. Not Taz gone. Right? C.J. Mosley gone. Ray Lewis gone. You still had those guys. T-Sizzle gone. Right? You still had some of those guys. Then we'd be in the conversation. Cam Newton getting X-rated. Pierpont. Yeah, and 2 boom or bust QBs. Oh, and your list. Yeah. Well, you got Jameis. Right? And then you also have, who's the other one? I remember that you had it. You have Jameis. and I can't think of the other one that you have, but it might end up working out. There's going to be other injuries that happen in fantasy, but your wide receivers, Pierpont, running backs, tight ends. I mean, you got a lot of depth. Defense. I mean, you're very well rounded. Yeah, the QBs, but if you think about it, Arians is going to get Jameis to play his best season. So if you have Jameis and you roll with him, for a majority of the year, there's going to be matchups where you get smoked at the quarterback position. Very, very lit, for you moving forward. And is big facts. So let's see here. Chafino, like the video, y'all. Panthers better be top 3 defense. We'll see. Let's see here. The reason I went with wide receivers 4 of my top 6 picks because it's a PPR and it's a double flex. So I start 4 wide receivers and no good PPR running backs drop to me. There you go. Everyone's system is different. PPR, standard league. I mean, you really got to weigh your options. Eagles best D-line in the league. All right, I feel you. My list is not in any order. 6-8 Saints, Panthers, Bears, Eagles, Chargers. Might be a little biased with the Saints. Pierpont. Oh, yeah, Jimmy G. That's your other quarterback. Yeah, he threw 5 picks today in practice. And obviously I know that because I do a lot of tape watching and reading. But I think he'll be fine. Jameis will probably, be able to start off the season maybe a little hotter. I mean, we'll have to kind of wait and see because I'm not sure if Jimmy G's fully healthy just yet. I don't know where his mind is. Obviously Jameis is more prone to turnovers. We just got to make sure Jimmy G's mind and the Garoppolo effect is right because those are weapons with Hurd, right? Deebo Samuel, Kittle. They got lots of weapons. Pettis, Goodwin, weapons on weapons on weapons, as well as with running backs as well. Vikings better be in the top 3. They've been at top 5D every year under Zimmer. I see you, Brandon. I feel you. Another elite defense. So let's get into my list, right? So I got a couple honorable mentions, and like I said, if you're a top 10 defense, right, you're the elite. I mean, you can go top 5 or, top 10 is good. But in my opinion, if there's, 32 teams, right, if you got a lot of teams that are in the league, 32, right? 16 in NFC, 16 in AFC. Top 10, you're elite, right? So, I mean, you're going to have people that justify the order and whatnot. So my first honorable mention that I just have to swing out there, I only have 3. So I'm just going to throw it out there for you guys. So out of my first 3 honorable mentions, the first one is the New England Patriots. Damon P. Aqua Dio, what to do, my guy? So the New England Patriots, everyone hates them, the Cheatriots. The big reason why Tom Brady, has been able to go to so many Super Bowls is because out of his 19 seasons, they have 14 top 10 defenses, believe it or not. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that they actually have that type of defense, but when you break down the roster with the guys that they have, it starts to kind of make sense. You got Gilmore, right? The best corner in the league, period, right? Jamie Collins is coming back. That gives them a little bit more depth. Michael Bennett, he's angry. He's a nasty player, right? You saw what he could do in Seattle. He's been a journeyman, going around from team to team. He'll be able to get his. Calvin Oy, underrated. The McCourty bros, right? Patrick Chung. I mean, the list kind of goes on and on with other guys. Got Winovich, in the draft this season. So they're going to be able to rotate a lot of guys. And I feel that everyone gives Belichick and Brady and Edelman and Gronk, even though he's not playing this season, they give all the other guys credit. But really what it comes down to, you got to have a solid or elite defense to be able to hang. And if you have a good running game and good play calling, I got to give credit where credit's due. Even though I don't like the Patriots, all right, the defense is definitely worth mentioning. They are top 10, in my opinion, going into the season. My next honorable mention is the Carolina Panthers. Now, I know, some of you think, maybe they should be up there a little bit higher in the top 5, but I love the Carolina Panthers. And like I said, you could argue top 5. You can argue all the way from pretty much maybe 2 to 7, and you can kind of have your arguments. And the reason that you could argue, with different arguments is like with Brian Burns, right? Omer, what to do, my guy? It's all about the 704. Get it? Best defense in the South, 3 Fs. Thank you for the donation, my guy. You are one of the most generous hardcore Northwest sports fanatic fans, period. And like I said, I love you, man. I appreciate you so much. And like I said, it almost makes me feel guilty that I have them at that number, at an honorable mention. But I think that they have room to get to the top 5 and creep up higher because of like Burns. Florida State, I watched him his whole career. I know how great this kid is. What did he play, like 10 snaps, 2 sacks? This kid is going to be battling Devin Bush for the Steelers, linebacker, and Devin White for my Bucks for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And obviously with, Bush kind of taking that leadership role of Shazier, Devin White's going to be kind of like the middle linebacker version of Derek Brooks because he played outside. I'm not sure if we've seen someone play the edge like this. He kind of reminds me of Javon Curse, the freak, from a couple years back. He's going to have a significant impact on the Panthers. And if he and Gerald McCoy, right, and Kuechly can vibe and have the Three Musketeers in Carolina, I'm telling you, even with Cam's arm, that's the concern, but this defense can really help them move forward and get a lot of extra wins. They can do checkdowns, with Run CMC. DJ Moore is going to be excellent. Curtis Samuel is going to take the next step in his game. Greg Olsen has 2 bionic legs, and he'll be able to find a way to get out there. But I think that they're really going to push Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and, I don't think the Saints are going to win 13 games, this season. I don't think they're going to win 12 games this season. I have the Saints maybe winning around 11. So if somehow, some way, the Panthers, the Bucks, the Falcons can get to that 9, 10, 11 range, anything is possible in the NFC South. But I got to tell you, with Burns, he is probably my favorite rookie that's not on my team besides Devin Bush on the Steelers. There's a lot of other guys, Quinnen Williams, on the Jets. I love him. Great personality. Josh Allen on Jaguars. I mean, you got a lot of different guys all over. The Raiders got a few different defensive players that I like with Abram as well. But this team, the Carolina Panthers, I have them honorable mention, but definitely with room to grow higher, all the way up to somewhere maybe within that 3, 4, 5 spot. And it might not take them that long because if I end up doing power rankings for the defense this year, which I probably will, it'll be an exciting video going in. I love the Carolina Panther defense. It's been very good, but adding Gerald McCoy and then getting this impact already in the first game from Burns. I mean, imagine if he played more than 10 snaps. This kid might have had like 5 sacks, maybe 6. I mean, he is a freak. Javon Curse, freak. Burns, watch for him. Florida State, I love him. My honorable mention, all right? And then my next honorable mention was tough. I was going to have him in my top 5, right? There was a couple, plays that they, kind of dropped the ball and they blew it, right? Clash of the Horns. What to do, my guy? What do you think of the Rams with secondary with AD 99 Fowler plus Matthews edge rusher? Much love, bro. Keep up the great videos. Clash of the Horns. This is one of the first videos. I know you're in here from time and again. Appreciate the donation. I'll let you know where I have my Rams, and I think you'll be surprised. A lot of people are sleeping on the Rams with the whole Gurley situation. I'm not. I'm going to let you know here in just a moment. So my other honorable mention, I had the Patriots, right? I had the Panthers. I like them better than the Patriots. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Saxonville. They could have been top 5 for me, okay? With Jacksonville, a couple years ago, they were like a quarter away from making the Super Bowl. Would they have won the Super Bowl? No. But with that defense, Calais Campbell, right, still in his prime. Yannick is a beast on the line. Marcel Darius, beast on the line. Miles Jack from UCLA. He used to play running back and linebacker. If that's not versatility, I don't know what the hell is, right? AJ Bouye, Jalen Ramsey, arguably one of the best corners, period, in the NFL already. Josh Allen, the rookie. I mean, they got pieces on pieces on pieces. Now, I'm not sure what Nick Foles is going to give you with Fournette in the offense, but you better believe the defense should rebound from last year's shit year that they had, and they're going to be competing with Houston, Indianapolis, and Tennessee for that division. The AFC South, 3 Fs, is going to be tough to fuck with, all right? It's going to be tough, but if their defense can do anything, right, and make it easier for slick Nick Foles, it wouldn't surprise me if Saxonville wins 10 games and wins the division. I don't see anyone from the South AFC winning 12, 13, 14 games. That's totally out of the question. They're going to cap out probably at 11, and that's if everything goes right. Houston, they have a lot of injuries from year to year. The Colts, Andrew Luck, he might not play for a while, but Jacoby Brissett can hold it down for at least the first month if need be. Titans, Mariota, Tannehill, both of them aren't good, and that hurts me to say as being a Duck fan. They're just kind of mediocre and average. Maybe if they go to new teams, Mariota, that he can find himself again. But Jacksonville, the defense, it's elite. Watch for them. New England Patriots, honorable mention. We get into the cream of the crop, fellas. All right? Any ladies in the room as well? The cream, you feel me? Omer, $7.04 donation from the 704. Clash of the Horns with a generous $5 donation. Let's get into the cream of the crop, the best of the best of the best. Sir, with honors. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Number 5. This is tough for me. And understand, out of all the teams that I have that are 1 through 5, you could literally put almost any one of these teams in the top 5, right? It's tough. It's tough for me to maneuver. It's tough for me to... Oh, I also have one more honorable mention that I almost forgot about that I wanted to bring up. So the other honorable mention that I wanted to bring up that people are kind of sleeping on, I think the progression of the offense is going to be key, right? Coaching is going to be great. This team is going to be in the running for a wild card. I almost forgot about them. I've got to stop doing that. My last honorable mention, and they're up there with Carolina, right? I got the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, if you look at fantasy, they're always usually top 5, top 10. The offense is better. That's going to help the defense to let them rest. But they got a lot of guys, right? Edmonds, I like him. He's a beast. He's going to be able to give you plenty, right? Ed Oliver, the rookie, he's going to be I'm hoping a Warren Sapp-ish type of player. Tre'Davious White is a beast. You got Hughes. You got Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer. I mean, the defense is great. So if Josh Allen can just get his act together, Cole Beasley, John Brown, a stable of running backs. I don't even yell to know if he's going to make it, but they got plenty of guys that they can Singletary, right? They got him. They end up having Frank Gore, right? They got Shady McCoy. They got a lot of guys to work with. That's going to help the defense out. But the Buffalo Bills, don't sleep on them. If you're looking for a team in fantasy to dominate on defense week in and week out, the Buffalo Bills are solid, and they have been for the last couple years. They got a lot of pieces. All right, now we're in my top 5. Are you guys ready? Number 5, we have a team that has pieces on pieces on pieces. One of their star players was supposed to go to the Jets, right? He backed out. C.J. Mosley said, I'm coming, right? But this player was going to go, but then had a little bit of regret. Thank God, Skol! He's going back to Minnesota because I think that they have a great chance of winning the division, and if not, getting a wild card this season. Yeah, I said it. Minnesota Vikings I have at number 5. Everson Griffin, right? Linval Joseph, Danielle Hunter, Anthony Barr, Xavier Rhodes. Rhodes closed. You got a lot of weapons. Harrison Smith. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I love the defense that they have. Look for them to rebound and have a better year this season. Kirk Cousins will be able to get Rudolph involved more in the offense. Diggs, Thielen, all of them will get together. Dalvin Cook was the key. When Dalvin Cook went down, they went down the shitter. This defense is going to be lit. I'm excited to see what they do. I love the Minnesota Vikings defense. They have a lot of pieces. They don't got 1 or 2 guys on defense. They're like 7, 8 deep. And even the guys that I'm not mentioning, they have some depth there. Look for them. Number 4. Number 4 is a team that we saw when they played the Saints. It made everyone, as the millennials say, woke, right? We knew this team was pretty good, but we didn't know the defense was this good. We're talking elite status. They really stepped up. DeMarcus Lawrence, Jalen Smith, right? Sean Lee when he can be out there, when he's not injured. Leighton Vander Esch. Byron Jones. Who? Byron Jones. They got pieces, right? And the pieces they have, they really mesh and work well together. Now, they have drama with Zeke, drama with Dak Prescott, drama a little bit. It's not in the media right now with Amari Cooper, but it's going to be because he's going to be the odd man out with the contract, okay? Dallas Cowboys, you could argue, are, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have them at 4. I got to see what some of the other holes are with the defense, but I love their team. I love the defense. They have an elite O-line, elite defense, elite running back in Zeke. They have an above-average QB, right? This team is legit. I don't know if they're going to be able to make the playoffs this season. Their goal is to probably go 10 wins and get the wild card. I think the Eagles are better. And if you don't think so, look at their team on paper because it's big facts. The Eagles are deeper, and I have them going 11-5 and going very far this season. Carson Wentz is going to dominate. But the Dallas Cowboys, as far as defense is concerned, one of the best in the NFL, and I don't really see them slowing down anytime soon. Number 4, Dallas Cowboys. Number 3, I have a team that people might be sleeping on. Clash of the Horns isn't sleeping on them. I'm not sleeping on them. They have weapons, right? Some of the weapons are, I want to say, questioned, right? Marcus Peters, right? Can he do it? Is he going to be the Chiefs' Marcus Peters, or are we going to get the Rams' Marcus Peters? What are we going to get health-wise? What are we going to get out of Matthews? What are we going to get? But bottom line, what I do know, even though Sue is gone and he's on my Bucks now, Aaron Donald is the best player in the NFL, not named Patrick Mahomes. And you can argue Aaron Donald, big AD 99, is the best player in the NFL. You can argue that. He's going to lead that defense, and he's going to be able to make things happen. How can you not play hard for a team like the Rams moving forward? They're going to win the division, right, by default. They're going to go, in my opinion, 11-5. You got the Niners. They're injury-prone right now. Seahawks, they're not as good as they used to be. No Frank Clark, right? Jaron Reed is suspended. No Earl Thomas, so they have holes. But the Rams, best friend, Cooper Kupp, right? The offense, I don't care if Gurley's 100% or not. They're still going to win. The defense is nice, and people are sleeping on them, but I wouldn't because I have them, the New Orleans Saints, and the Eagles as my best 3 teams in the NFC with the other few couple, Bears, Vikings, right? Maybe Seahawks, Cowboys in the mix as well. But I have those as my front runners and the top defenses. Now, some people are going to say, whoa. Cowboys, Vikings, Jags, right? And some of these other teams I mentioned, Bills defense, they're better than the Rams. We'll see this season. I think the Rams are going to tighten up, and I think they'll be a little bit better, and I don't think Marcus Peters will be that banged up. Look for him to improve his stats moving forward, but Aaron Donald makes everyone better. Wade Phillips, Sean McVay, what can you say? The Super Bowl, right? It didn't come out to be the outcome they wanted, but it wasn't by mistake that they got there. Number 3, I know it surprises people, and this is mine. Remember, it's not ESPN. This ain't, it's me watching tape, me watching practice, me watching Aaron Donald do the speed bag, doing the drills. He probably has the fastest feet out of any D lineman I've ever seen, ever, period. He's got a 16-pack. He looks like he's, bodybuilder champion. Like, it's insane how physically fit Aaron Donald really is, and I love him. Number 2 is a team that I feel player for player, you can argue has the best defense in the league. The only problem with their defense is injuries. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the Los Angeles Chargers. Bosa. It doesn't matter if you're Bosa, right? Joey, right? On the Chargers, or if you're Nick on the Niners. Great talents. You might only get 12 games out of them, right? But you're going to get 10 sacks. You're going to get a hell of a lot of pressures. We need to see him on the field. Melvin Ingram, one of the most underrated players in the NFL. Big facts. Right? Derwin James, my favorite safety in the league today, besides Jamal Adams on the Jets. Those are my 2 hands-down favorite at this point, right? Jerry Tillery, Adderley. I mean, you got a lot of pieces there. And, Phillip is going to dominate. Keenan Allen is underrated. Mike Williams will do something. We got to get Melvin Gordon in there. Eckler. They got weapons, right? So that'll make the defense rested. It's just about the health. But if these guys stay healthy, right, for a full season, look for them to compete not only with the Chiefs Kingdom, right, but New England, Pittsburgh, the Colts. They're going to be fighting, scrapping, trying to show how good they really are. The Los Angeles Chargers. Derwin James is a man. He's a beast. Number 2. Number 1, you saw the thumbnail. I mean, you can come at me and you can argue with me, right? Vic Fangio's gone. I get it, right? But Chuck Pagano is no slouch. If you saw him in Indianapolis, he's a pretty good coach. You could have him at coordinator. You can have him at head coach. This might be more of a natural role for him. Vic Fangio going on and moving on to Denver. I get it, right? Usually when you lose an impact, head coach, or like a Kyle Shanahan from Atlanta to the Niners, there's usually a little bit of a drop-off. But with this talent that they have and getting Khalil Mack, I don't see a drop-off, right? I'm not sure if they're going to be better than they were statistically last year, but I still have them as the best overall defense, period. And then with guys like Montgomery coming in as a rookie for the running back position, it's going to make Trubisky's life a little bit easier. Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, Keem Hicks, Clinton Dix, which is amazing, Eddie Jackson, which I love, from Bama. Fuller, Goldman, Trevathan. I mean, this team has so many players on it. It's amazing. Like, I'm not sure if they really have any weaknesses from 1 to 11 on the defense, and they have good depth as well. So look for the Bears, Chicago Bears, to dominate. It wouldn't surprise me if they lead the league in defensive touchdowns again this season. They're going to dominate. Lots of picks, lots of fumbles, lots of scrappiness. Trubisky's going to need it because better production from Trey Burton, the wide receivers. The O-line is usually pretty solid for the Bears, but we'll see how the defense looks moving forward. So let's see about that. So let's get in to the comments since I'm going into the list. So let's go here. I got to scroll up because you guys went for quite some time. So let me go here. Clash of the Horns. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Appreciate you. Let them sleep. Agreed. A lot of people sleeping on them. You know what I mean? But I still think that they have one of the best, teams overall. And there's other teams that I didn't even mention, like Nolans Saints. You could still have them, rolling around in that kind of bottom 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range. This is probably the deepest defense that Breeze has had in the secondary in quite some time. I need to see Rankins healthy. If he was, I probably would have put him a little bit higher as well. And you got other teams that are going to be better on defense too, that have room to grow. Like the Chiefs went from like the worst defense, right, to maybe middle of the pack. And then if they have great production from Honey Badger, Juan Thornhill, right, Chris Jones, right? And a few of the other guys that they picked up, like Frank Clark, they could go from a 15 to 16 all the way to top 10. It wouldn't surprise me moving forward. Saxonville needs to be an above-average QB, and they could be like in the early 2000s Ravens, but not as dominant, but good enough to win a chip. That's the thing, though. When you had certain QBs, Dilfer, the defense for me, like 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, 2002 Bucks. I mean, those are all whole nother category of defense because you got to look on how many Hall of Famers were on each one of those teams. And a lot of those teams were only averaging, giving up, like 10 points a game, 12 points a game. You don't really see that in the NFL anymore with being a passing league, but those defenses were really special. I do like Jacksonville. I just don't know if I have them necessarily top 5, but they're kind of on the outside looking in. And it just depends on what the offense is going to give them breathers moving forward. And like I said, we saw them almost make the Super Bowl, and then last year they kind of shit the bed. So I need to see them do a little bit better. Who dat? Loud, my boy. If they were lovers, Marcus would be here every video, and they would be more lovey-dovey with each other. I wasn't judging, but if you're a homophobe, I can understand where you're coming from, too. I am not. Marcos Pineda, what room? Go Seahawks. And Pete, we trust. I feel you. We'll have to see what the Seahawks look like. Marcos is one of my longtime childhood friends. We used to work together at the Outlet Mall years back, and we still keep in touch. He's a neighbor of mine, lives in Nike headquarters. Marcos, I hope you're having a great rest of your night. I hope you enjoyed the Gus Johnson. I know you did. You wanted to play some Madden. I got you ready. I want to watch Men in Black now. Thanks, Orion. You're welcome. Well, specifically the scene where James has the trouble taking the test. I was roll. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I got it from. Damon, P. Aquadio, so word that is Mariota isn't guaranteed to start week 1. Tannehill redemption in Tennessee. It's possible. Like I said, Mariota has not looked great. I'm a realist. I'm not a homer. He won the Heisman. He was one of the greatest quarterbacks that Oregon's ever seen. I'm a Joey Harrington guy. His career didn't ever pan out. Achilles Smith, we know what that happened with the Bengals. They haven't really had a great reputation of QBs, in this league from the University of Oregon. But I think if he goes to a different team with maybe some different leadership, he might be able to succeed. What team is that? Who the hell knows? But Tannehill might end up taking the spot. It just depends on if they're going to play harder for Tannehill or Mariota. Mariota is a class act on and off the field, so I know that they respect him. But just staying on the field and being accurate, that's the problem. Staying on the field and being accurate. We'll see if Tannehill can stay on the field and maybe give him a little juice. We'll see. And then Mariota might be able to go to a different team. Let's just pray it's not the Patriots moving forward. Let's see here. Skull Vikings. I got to give the Vikings props, man. Let's see here. As a Cowboys fan, the Cowboys defense is overrated because of D-Law, the linebacking core, and Byron Jones. The Cowboys defense is above average at best. I mean, as a Cowboy fan, that's kind of, humbling to say, but I feel that just with the combination of the players that you have, though, they really work well together. D coordinator, line coaches. I mean, you definitely have a lot of guys that are just better than average moving forward, so you got to remember that. Omer with another donation. Thank you so much, my guy. $11.05. I love all the random numbers, but he goes 11-5. He said Panthers record this year 11-5. Prove me wrong, haters. Cam will be back into elite form this season. And hey, I like that. 704, $7.04. 11-5, $11.05 donation. Omer, it's possible. And I think the thing that's going to give Panther fans hope, and it's not crazy talk, right, is Burns. When you see someone like that erupt and think, wow, how did this guy not get picked within the first 10 picks? And then all the other teams are thinking, wow, what happened? We really messed up on that one. We should have picked him up. Their loss, your gain. And like I said, with the Bucs and the Falcons, they're going to have to see this guy year in, year out. And don't be surprised if he gives Kuechly, I know I said it, don't be surprised if he gives Kuechly a run for his money for being the best standout defender on the team. Kuechly is arguably the best linebacker in football with Bobby Wagner. So for me to say something like that shows you how much confidence I have in him. Just like when I had confidence in Bradley Chubb joining Von Miller. Look for that type of impact immediately. And if he ends up having a great season with Kuechly and McCoy, it's going to be scary, and I could definitely see them going 11-5. Now, winning the division, it might be a different story, but you can't predict the injuries that are going to happen from year to year, game to game. But I definitely feel the Panthers, hashtag keep pounding, they're coming. They're feeling it, and I'm excited to watch all their tape. They're definitely on the move. Damon, so that, and when he tries to open the packet, tears the cover page in half. Oh, Men in Black, absolutely. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Let's see here. Amazing defense. Secondary was better. Our safeties are pretty good, but our corners are still questionable. Yeah, you guys have had some issues with, the corners and the safeties. You got some up-and-coming talent, there that can kind of get better. One thing that I really wish, right? I know a lot of people kind of talk ish about him. Josh Norman. I kind of wish he was back with the Panthers. Don't you? I mean, I know that, he was with you guys, and then he left. He's on the Redskins now, and then they paid him, and he was kind of a system guy. He could take chances, right, with the Panthers because he had help to do so, right? He takes chances on the Redskins, and they get burned. So looking forward and moving forward, I mean, a player like that getting back to the roster could be huge, but I'm not sure if that's going to be something that's going to, ever happen again. But I think he would be a great fit coming back, if possible. We just have to kind of wait and see. Let's see here. So let me know when the Cowboys defense get 20-plus turnovers and can actually stop the run. Well, you know what I mean? As a Cowboy fan, you know what you see. You watch your game. But for me, as far as defensive units are concerned, I saw a defensive unit that not a lot of people believed in last year, right? Stonewall the Nolans Saints. How many teams at that point could stonewall a Nolans Saints team with all the weapons? Mark Ingram, AK-41, Michael, Money, MT-13 Thomas, Breeze. I mean, it was kind of an amazing thing to see. So I think you kind of have to give a little bit more credit to your team. The elite offense, right? Offensive line, the elite defense, a Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith could have been a first pick in the draft a couple years ago, but got hurt at Notre Dame. You guys took a gamble and it worked out. Byron Jones, no one knew how good he was going to be, and he ended up having a great season. Let's see him do it again, and maybe do it again. And Van Der Esch was probably one of the best picks that you guys have had in 10 years, right? You needed a Sean Lee replacement. You needed someone that could be healthy, right? Sean Lee's only bugaboo is staying on the field. You guys needed a wide receiver. You held Pat. You got Cooper later, and then you got the better player in Van Der Esch than most of these wide receivers that are in the draft this season, right? It's big facts. You guys end up having a nice roster moving forward. It's just about getting those guys paid, right, moving forward and see what you can do. I still like the Cowboys. I like their defense. So let's see here. Same goes with the Saints. Amazing defense if our secondary wasn't bad. But this is the most depth that you guys have had. And I think Lattimore is going to have a season like his rookie season, going from 5 picks to 2 picks, back to about 5 or 6 picks. Eli Apple should play better. You got a lot of pieces that they can rotate. And once Sheldon Rankins comes back, that's going to give you guys a little bit more depth to gamble on some plays. So the Saints defense, I think, is going to be better. And this is the best that they've been on defense in a few years. in my opinion, because you got guys like Von Bell and these other glue guys that really make the team run. Cameron Jordan is the best player on the defense, but Von Bell is the glue. And you need guys, glue guys, to make things work. And Lattimore will bounce back. I think he's going to have a great season upcoming in 2019. Also, let's see what the Cowboys fan says. He said, Eagles are a paper tiger team. Sure, they look great on paper, right? But it doesn't count for anything once the season starts, especially when they have injuries. Right. That might have been in years past, right? But I think the depth that they have shown, and I'm sure about you, right? But I watch every team, every practice. I read every article. I go through everyone. The Eagles are loaded. I mean, we're talking about they might have the most depth out of any team in the NFL across the board. They got 6 running backs deep. Carson Wentz is going to stay healthy. You got sleepers like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside from Stanford that are going to blow people out of the water. You got 2 of the best tight ends on the same team in Dallas Goedert. It's so bad it hurts Zach Ertz on the same team, not named O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. Both of those guys could get you 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns apiece. Ertz has potential to get double digits. He's that good. Alshon Jeffrey, return of D-Jax. You got weapons on weapons on weapons. Aguilar. It doesn't stop. It doesn't end. You know what I mean? And the O-line is good. I'm telling you, it's going to be a battle this season. Cowboys and the Eagles will be the 2 best teams, right, in the East, NFC. Redskins will try, but they're a few years away. And then the Giants, we'll see when Daniel Jones gets in, and they'll play better with Saquon. But you guys will battle. It's going to be fun moving forward, right? But the main thing is they don't have any drama in the building, right? We damn boys, right? You guys got some drama. You got to be able to pay your players and get the drama over with. Because even if you pay Dak and Zeke, what about Cooper? He hasn't been vocal about it just yet, but that's probably on his mind, you know? So we'll see what happens, but I am excited for the NFC East. I love the matchups with the Redskins, the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. We damn boys. I can't wait. It's going to be great. So let's see here. Let me scroll down with the comments. Let's see here. Panthers looking good. Panthers fan. I love it. I like the hashtag keep pounding represented in the room. Let's see. Yeah. What's up with all the chat stuff here? You know, keep it PG, my guys. Everything's going to be going under review. Michael Pierpont. Losing Adrian Amos was really big. Yeah, it was. It was big. We're talking about the Bears, right? But they got Ha-Ha. So Amos is better. He went to the Packers, you know, but getting at least a Ha-Ha, he was good, at least in the beginning, the transition from Bama, and has had a couple bad seasons. But being around all those guys, you know, with the Bears, it can only elevate, you know, his play, Ha-Ha, going forward. And then, you know, obviously the Bears loss and Amos is the Packers gain. They need more pieces. That's big facts. I revamped my entire channel with new avatar, as you can see. I revamped my channel as well. New banner at the top, thumbnails. We're looking fresh. We're looking clean. I'm grinding, baby. 24/7. Staying up till 12:01 in the morning, every day, reading, doing the tape, being here for you guys. Brian Burns. Spider Burns. 2 sacks. Man, he's so good. He could average almost 2 sacks a game. I know that's crazy to think, and he won't do that. But for a pass rusher, it's kind of nice. You know, another Von Miller, another edge guy. You know, and Burns is so athletic, you can really put him anywhere you want. I mean, you could put him on the left side, the right side. You could probably put him at outside linebacker, and he could still dominate. He's that good of an athlete. Florida State guys are athletes. My favorite player ever, Derek Brooks, athlete. All right? Jalen Ramsey, athlete. Dion, prime time, athlete, right? Burns is an athlete. And I can tell you one thing right now. Every team that passed on him is going to be biting their tongues and is wishing that they could do a redraft after seeing that first preseason game. Panthers defense is legit, and it's nice to see that they got another piece to add to Gerald McCoy and Kuechly and the rest of the squad. Gang, moving forward. And I'm in the division. I'm a Bucs fan. You know what I mean? But I can appreciate talent where I see it. He's special. He's better than any player that's on my defense. I mean, Devin White has a chance to be on that same level because I think they're going to compete for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Same thing with Devin Bush on the Steelers. Levante David's great, right? Sue, you know, he's going to be a guy that'll be there for a year, but it's a rental. It's a Band-Aid. Nothing too crazy. Burns, though, you could have him for life. Like New World Order. New World Order. For life, brother. Burns, Panthers for life. it could happen. So let's see here. Burns is going to get double-digit sacks if he stays healthy. That's big facts. He's definitely going to get double-digit sacks. If I had to put a number on it, low, I'd say 10. He's that good. There'll be games that he gets none, but there's going to be games where he could get possibly 1, 2, and even 3 in a game. To be honest, with Burns' talent, I could see him getting something crazy, like 4 in a game, something only like Khalil Mack normally would be able to do, or a Von Miller. Big facts. He's that special. People need to start really watching the tape. I was just blessed enough to watch him at Florida State very thoroughly, so I kind of knew about him before anyone else did. And now Panther fans are woke. They love it. I'm jealous. I wish I could have had him on the roster. And that's big facts. I couldn't watch your past streams due to notifications not working again. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. If you guys need to go and redo your notifications, sign back into YouTube, turn them on. But a lot of the fan base with a lot of our views, right, have been lower. There's new metrics on YouTube for analytics, and they're only pushing certain channels, right? It's all about clicks, and it's about, the time watched. But something's going on with YouTube where they're turning off notifications on our channel for our subscribers. I don't know why they're doing it, or something's going on internally with YouTube, but check your status and make sure that you're kind of on it. And if you guys, go through that on a daily basis, just assume I'm going to be on here every day, 7:30 Pacific time, doing a stream, and then sometime around 4 to 4:30, right, I'm going to do a regular show typically, either with Marcus or without, with an uploaded video. I'm usually going to be grinding, doing 1 or 2, and then on top of that, doing a stream for an hour or 2, because I'm grinding, baby, like clips. I'm grinding. You know what I mean? NFL season's coming. I needed to make some changes. Thumbnails, banners, more research, going to sleep for 3 hours, and then going to my full-time job, for Verizon Business. Waking up at 4 in the morning. I don't know how many people have the dedication like me on YouTube, but you guys are the best fans. This is the best chat, period, on YouTube. You have the smartest fans in this chat. Yeah, there's going to be some, people that will quote unquote think that some of the people in the chat are knuckleheads or trollers. But I go on Good Morning Football in the morning and watch different streams, and I listen and look at these people that chat in there. God, some of them are so fucking stupid. So I appreciate having fans that are fanatics like me and like Marcus. You guys do the research as well, and it's nice to be able to talk football with people that know football. And you know who you know about your friends and other people that they say they know football, but they don't. Everyone's got an opinion, but you guys are going to be the smartest in the room, smartest in your friend group, and that's big facts. So let's see here. It's pissing me off. Yeah, get those noties on, Noti gang. Get them for the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Turn that bitch on, man. Subscribe to your channel. Share it. Smash the like button. Help your boy out. I'm grinding. Let's see here. Montgomery is a good running back. I watched him play against us. He's special. I feel for the Bears. If they're going to repeat and they're going to win, the division again, the NFC North, 11-5, maybe win a little bit less games than last season. Montgomery's huge. I mean, Trubisky, I'm not really sold on as a QB. Trey Burton gets hurt a lot, right? Wide receiving core, I'm not really sold on either, right? Riley Ridley, though, Calvin Ridley's brother, if he can give them anything, a fraction of what Calvin Ridley did last season, Calvin gives you 10 touchdowns. If Riley can give you 5, that'll help. But Montgomery has an excellent chance to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. If I had to say one name, right, not named Kyler Murray, that's going to be able to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, we'll have to see what Josh Jacobs can do for the Raiders, right, and Henderson for the Rams. But for a guy that's going to start right away and get the most touches, right, and can catch out of the backfield, he's going to be a dual threat. He's going to be a sleeper in fantasy, right, David Montgomery. The Bears. He's going to be great. And he's kind of like MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew. He's going to be special. I've already seen it in the highlight package, and I watch him, in camp daily, so I know how good he really is. Let's see here. Let me keep going here. TTG54. He said, I just got back from the movies. No worries. I'll go back through the beginning of the show. Let's not on Wentz. The team was ravaged with injuries, especially in the secondary. And the defense gelled at the right time. Yeah, it's true. And you got to think, look at the players that were on the Eagles secondary that some of them were like coming off the street. They were like 4th, 5th stringers. And they ended up, overachieving and playing a little bit better than people thought. People were already counting the Eagles out from even making the playoffs last season, right? So, I mean, it's one thing, when you have the depth, like the Super Bowl year, and you know how far you're going to be able to get, and you got to have confidence in your team. But like I said, I think the Wentz rivalry with Dak, Cowboys-Eagles, it's going to be one of the best rivalries in the NFL for years to come. And that's big facts. All right, let's see here. And it says, don't be one of those NFL fans that gives Foles too much credit than he deserves. The man threw 4 total picks in the postseason. Yeah, and the thing is Slick Nick, he doesn't have the weapons around him. So I definitely don't think that he's going to have the same type of impact like he did with Philly. You know what I mean? The Philly weaponry, the arsenal, was much deeper. Going to Jacksonville, it's different. J. Edward Orion, where are my Saints at? Nolans Saints. So I feel the Saints are going to be somewhere hovering around that, like, as far as like defenses in the league, there's 32 teams. I have the Saints somewhere between 9 through 14 with room to kind of wiggle up and get a little bit better. Rankins being injured is the only reason that I didn't have him higher. If Rankins was healthy with Cameron Jordan, Lattimore is going to have a bounce back year. Eli Apple, plenty of other weapons that are going to be able to kind of gel and make a name. Von Bell, I love the glue, AKA, right? It's going to be one of those teams that are going to get better and better, and they may have to carry Breeze, for a few games this season since Breeze is 40. We'll have to see, what they look like, but they have room to grow. Once Rankins comes back, the defense numbers are going to improve. That's big facts. Francisco Torres, what about the Ravens? Now, with the Ravens, I have them scaling back. And the thing is that the impact of C.J. Mosley, to me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer type of player. And when you lose your leader on the defense, Nata's not there. T. Sizzle's not there. He's on the Cardinals, right? Ray Lewis isn't there. Ed Reed isn't there. I mean, this isn't really the same squad that we're used to. Ozzie Newsome's not in control like he was before. So they still have pieces. They brought Earl Thomas in, right, from the Seahawks. But what kind of Earl are you going to get? Are you going to get a healthy Earl or are you going to get an injured Earl? That's the question. And like I said, I want to say that Lamar will take the next step. Mark Andrews will be his number one guy. Hollywood Brown's going to dominate. I don't know. Mark Ingram can definitely get the ball moving. But I think the Browns and Steelers, not to hurt your feelings, I think they're just going to be better. I think the Steelers are going to win the division, and the Browns are really going to push the Ravens. The one thing that the Ravens have that the Browns don't is they have an elite coach, right, in John Harbaugh. Kitchens I don't like, right? The offense is better for the Browns, right? And it might be even better on the defense than the Ravens. But, if people sleep on the Ravens, they can overachieve, but I don't think they're going to win the division again this season. I have them scaling back, and my gut kind of tells me that they might be like an 8-8 team, with room to be 9-7, 10-6 if there's injuries with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. But if there's not, I think that they're going to be third place in the division. They're going to scale back a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong. But that's just kind of my inner gut. I feel Pittsburgh's going to win at like 11-5, and then the Browns will be 9-7, 10-6. And we'll see if I'm right. Let's see here. Let's keep scrolling down with the comments. Let's see what else we got up in here. The Panthers do have one of, if not the best front seven in the league. Short, Poe, Addison, McCoy, Irvin, Burns, Thompson, and, of course, Luke. That's big facts. And that's not even you being a homer and being a Panther fan. I'm a Bucs fan. I agree. They're deadly, right? But the thing that kind of holds them back is what? No more Thomas Davis, even though he was old. But the leadership in the locker room, that's going to hurt a little bit. But the secondary needs to be better. Once you get better players in the secondary, no one will ever doubt the Panthers as a whole. Front seven, yes, amazing, elite. Right? But the back end needs to improve. And you saw with guys like Kurt Coleman and some of these guys that, they didn't really have it anymore. You know what I mean? You need to get better players, and I think you guys will. It's just a matter of time. The draft, it will, once you start getting those guys, it's going to be nice. Marco says, great video. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Saints from 7, the best in the league, secondary only getting better. From 7, the best in the league, secondary only get. Yeah, and like I said, they have room to grow, but I don't have them in the top 5 or top 10. Not yet. Damon P. Aquadio, don't forget Dennis Dixon. Yeah, another Oregon quarterback that didn't make it. And the sad thing is when you look at some of the quarterbacks, Kellen Clemens, right, from Burns, a 2A high school, had a longer career than Joey Harrington and some of these other guys. It's just kind of crazy. But Justin Herbert could be the best quarterback out of them all when it's all said and done. Dan Fouts obviously is the Oregon quarterback, the alum, the one that people remember. Chris Miller, that was on the Falcons way back in the day. We're talking like Neon Dion's rookie season, like way back then. But Dan Fouts for the Chargers, that's someone you could be, kind of proud of. But Herbert, top 5 pick next year. Where will he go? Will he go with John Gruden and the Raiders, or will some other team grab him? It'll be interesting to see where Tua and where Herbert goes. So let's see here. Omer Muchik, record this year, $11.05 donation. What a generous person Omer is. Every stream. Appreciate you so much. He said, prove me wrong, haters. Cam will get back to form this year. Panthers fan says, yes. He's throwing dots. I did see him in camp and some of the interviews they had, the dual practice with the Bills. So I watch every team very, very closely. And the arm looks a little bit better than I was expecting. Yeah, it's preseason. Yeah, it's training camp. Yeah, it's dual practice. But I'm excited to see him because the thing is, even if you love Cam or you hate Cam, you love Dak, you hate Dak, you love Brady, you hate Brady with certain personalities in the league, right? When certain guys are healthy and they're good, it makes the NFL as a whole better, right? Not just for their fan bases, but for the divisions, the NFC South, right? And the NFC in general, right? When you can have all of those teams. The Bucs have been the laughingstock in the South for a long time. Maybe this will be the year I'm respectable. Not good, but respectable. Maybe I can hang with the Panthers. Maybe. Maybe hang with the Falcons. Maybe. Hang with the Saints? Probably not. But at least moving forward, I like where we're going with Arians, Todd Bowles, and Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich is going to be a head coach in this league in the next 5 years. Big facts. I don't know where he'll go, but I want to keep him as long as I can because I think he's going to do a great job. Very smart. Very underrated. Let's see here. Let's keep going down the list. Panthers front 7. Like I mentioned, I love them. Yeah, always people clever with the donations, especially Omer. Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed before in one of the other streams, Omer donated almost $200 on one of my streams. $18 for 18K, right? $62 donation, $101 donation, all in one stream. I mean, that's love. If that's not love, I don't know what is. And I know some people can't afford to donate. If you donate $1, much appreciated. If you can't afford it, that's understandable. But think about that love, though. You know what I mean? $200 in a 2-hour stream just to me? You know what I mean? Just talking football? I mean, that's respect, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all the hard work and all the effort, all the time I put into videos that we don't get paid on, every video that has highlights that we get nothing, and so we're just doing it for the subs and the love of the game and the fans and the views. You know what I mean? To have someone give back like that is amazing. And like I said, Northwest Sports Fanatics, this channel has the best fans on YouTube, period. Against any other channel, I put money on it, period. Love you guys. Let's see here. Trey Boston is underrated. Big facts. He is. They have a few other guys. You say Josh Norman is overrated. But the thing is that if he came back to your squad and did good, would you take him back? I bet you would. He'd look good in that Panther uniform. I always picture him there, just talking shit to all the other, wide receivers. I liked him there. You know what I mean? He was a gamer. He just doesn't seem right on the Redskins, right? So we'll see. And the thing is that, you can talk trash about certain players, right? But then you just never know when they may come back to your team. It could happen. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Carson Wentz is healthy right now. Uh-oh, here's some Cowboy talk. We damn boys. Let's see what it is. He says, Damon, Piacquadio, sure. He said, Carson Wentz is healthy right now. But for how long will that last? The last 5 years, Wentz has been injured every season at some point. Right. This year's different. He said, we different. Right? This season's going to be not wheelchair Wentz. That's old news. Okay? Never was in a wheelchair. All right? I like him as a top 5 QB in the league this season. Yeah, I said it. They got the depth. Weapons on weapons on weapons. Look to their roster. How many teams have 6 running backs deep? I'm waiting. How many? How many teams have tight ends and wide receiving core 5, 6, 7 deep? I'm waiting. Who's got an offensive line as deep as the Eagles? A few. Cowboys do, right? Pittsburgh's line's pretty good. There's a few different lines that can compete. But they're hungry. They're feisty. They're going to make it happen this season. And I'm not even talking about the defensive side either. Fletcher Cox is an animal. Malcolm Jenkins is an animal. Derek Barnett's coming off an injury. Animals. Telling you. You can't always look in the past. Sometimes you got to, you can look in the rearview mirror and take a glance, right? But the NFL is year by year, right? And the Cowboys best, but you ain't beating the Eagles this season. The Eagles are going to be able to win the division. That's big facts. Omer says, don't make me drop the max donation of $200 to change your opinion on the Panthers being a top 5 defense. Love the stream. Yeah, I think the top donation, I think, is $500. Maybe it is $200. But you know what? At any point, if you donate, YouTube takes a percentage or whatnot. But, Omer, dude, the love that you have for the channel and for me, I really appreciate you. Hashtag keep pounding. I'm going to make sure that I give you guys all I got. I'm the hardest working YouTuber that's on YouTube, period. And when you get donations like that, it definitely makes you feel good with someone that has a full-time job on top of doing the YouTube. Some guys dedicate their whole time to YouTube, right? I wish I can get to that point if I was getting enough money, to do that. But to wake up at 4 a.m. and then do a full-time job on the phones where I'm using my voice as a manager, talking to Verizon business owners in New York and Boston, right? And getting off at 2, right? 2:15, 2:30, and then grinding immediately when I get home, and then not going to bed until 12:01, that's dedication. But, I do it for you guys. I do it for the love of the game, the NFL, college football, sports in general. And you guys are the best. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Derwin and Jack. Bolts. Chargers. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be special this season, but the question is, for every Bolt fan, one of my best friends, Joey Gomez, big Charger fan, and he asked me, what do you think? What do you think, O-Dog? I mean, what are the chances of winning the division? Even though they tied last season. We know the Chiefs, and the Legion of Zoom, Mahomes, they're scary. I mean, the only way that the Chargers get past them in the records, like based off wins and losses, is injuries, right? But do I think the Chargers can make a deep run? You better fucking believe it, right? Chargers, Chiefs, New England, Pittsburgh, Colts. That's where it's at. And then you got teams like the Browns that could get in there. The Bills, the Jets, they could squeak in. But we have to see each week. Hopefully nobody gets injured in preseason. But I love Derwin James. I love the safety position. I'm a linebacker guy, but I love safeties. Derwin James and Jamal Adams, right, are the Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed of this generation. Big facts. Very exciting. And I'm jealous because I know Tampa Bay was looking at Derwin James, and they're fucking dumb, and they passed on him because of his knee, injury that he supposedly had. And I get it, but the Chargers take risks on guys that kind of get banged up, a.k.a. Joey Bosa, right? And he is a little bit banged up, right, at the moment. But he's the type of guy that you could play 12 games, right, and get 10 sacks. There's not very many guys that can do that, maybe besides his brother, Nick, on the 49ers. Special talents, that Bosa family. Big facts. Let's see here. Damon says, can we have an actual educated discussion on Carson Wakatuam Wentz other than Nick Foles did this or Carson's health? Yeah, it is like a broken record. But like I said, Damon, for Eagle fans that respect me, you know what I mean? I predicted that they were going to win the Super Bowl against the Pats. I said they were going to win big. And it's a team game, right? You had a better O-line than the Patriots. You had a better D-line. You had the 4 horsemen, right? And Slick Nick didn't have to be Carson Wentz or Aaron Rodgers or Breeze or Roethlisberger. He just needed to be the best version of Nick Foles, right, and not turn the ball over, right? And then they end up having Philly, and they made it happen. So it shows you every team is different. And you could even relate that to Dak Prescott. You don't have to be Rodgers, Breeze, Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson. All you got to do is be Dak. Can you get better in the red zone? Yeah, you better believe it. If you end up wanting to make a deep run, because red zone percentages are horrible, like bottom 3 in the NFL, based off QB percentage last season. So he can get better there. But as far as a dual threat and a winner, Dak is that. But he's relying on an elite running back, an elite O-line, an elite defense. And at some point, he's got to step it up and play a little bit better. And maybe fire Jason Garrett and get someone better at head coach. Big facts. But they're loyal to a fault. So we'll see. Let's keep going here. I'm almost caught up. Carson Wentz, lack of playoff experience. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can say that, but the thing is that the Eagles winning the Super Bowl that year, if Carson Wentz didn't play that great, they wouldn't have got to that position. And come at me if you want, Carson Wentz would have won the MVP that season if he didn't get hurt. He was playing the best football out of any QB. Come at me. It's truth. I don't have any affiliation to the Eagles. I just speak facts. I watch tape. I read more than anybody. You know what I mean? I go and watch all the articles, all the teams, all the camps. I'm all over it. I'm reading everything. You saw it. You saw it when he played. There was no one on his level that season. You know what I mean? It was unfortunate that he got hurt, right? But you got to get past this injury thing. Is there a chance that he can get injured again? Well, fucking of course, right? It could happen again, right? But I'm never going to give up on Carson Wentz. And if I have to compare Goff and Wentz, I like Wentz better. That's just me personally. You know what I mean? If Wentz had Sean McVay, what kind of results are you going to get there with that roster? If you had Goff in Philly, are you going to have still the same results? I just think Wentz is a better player. But Goff has improved dramatically after the Fisher era and to the McVay era. It's all personal preference. But ultimately, you guys are going to battle it out for the NFC East crown for the next 5 years. And then the Redskins will probably make a run in between at some point as well with Haskins. Let's see here. Let's keep scrolling down. I'm getting caught up. John Robert. Sup, baby? Adam Cole, baby. Yeah, I did my list, but I'll hop into it and I'll do it again for you. I'll take care of people. People donating today, showing love. Yeah, I'll definitely redo it for you, John. And I think you'll enjoy what I have to say. So let's see here. It says Dak has been more reliable than Wentz only because of the offensive line, the elite defense, and Zeke. If you take those things away, how good is Dak? Really? Can Dak lead a team on his own with a horrible O-line, no running game, and a horrible defense? Fuck no. Let's be real. Even if you're a Cowboy fan, you know what I mean? Dak is a winner, right? Dak is better than people give him credit for, being like a third, fourth round pick, but he ain't no Carson Wentz based off talent. He ain't no Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? He ain't even a top 10 quarterback. Let's just, speak truth here, But I think that he is underrated to a certain degree, but he can get better. But he is one of the better dual threats as far as using his legs, right, and running. And he's going to make Michael Gallup's dreams come true this season. They're going to build a nice relationship. Big facts. All right, so let me get into the list, and let me scroll down here. There's a lot of comments. God, you guys are commenting the shit today. I'm not even going to be able to catch up. Omer with another donation. Omer, dude, you were the man. Cowboys record this year without Zeke will be 6-10. $6.10 donation. Creative with the donations. Omer, I love you, man. Dak is not worth $30 million a year. He is nothing more than a game manager. A little bit more than a game manager. Not worth 30, but to the Cowboys, he's worth it. Because like I said, if you don't have Dak Prescott and you have Zeke, you probably win like 5 games, right? But if you have Dak and no Zeke, right, you can probably get 7-9. So, just the fact that Zeke is a better player, but the quarterbacks touch the ball every snap. And that's important because who is the backup for the Cowboys? We mentioned this in the stream yesterday. Are they going to be able to call Tony Romo out of retirement from in the booth? Kellen Moore's the OC this season. They going to have him hop in? I mean, they'd be screwed if Dak doesn't play until they find someone else. Big facts. Damon P. Aquadio, we damn boys, Super Bowl, right? I feel it, but the rivalry's great. I love the Eagles and Cowboys rivalry. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Thank you guys so much with the donations, and I finally caught up. So, John Roberts, are you still in the room? Comment below so I can see. Kellen Moore has a better arm. I liked him when he was at Boise State. Big facts. But I'm going to go on the list again. So, for anyone that hopped in the room, I'm going to go over it for you guys. Such a generous group. Grinding today. NFL top 5 elite defensive units going into the 2019 season. Honorable mention. New England Patriots. Patriots. Gilmore, best corner in the league. Jamie Collins is coming back. Michael Bennett. He's an animal, kind of dirty at times, but he'll give him a lot of juice. Calvin Oy, one of the most underrated players in the league. McCourty Bros, right? They got two of them, Devin and Jason, Patrick Chung. The list goes on. And, they got guys like Winovich coming in the draft, so they're going to be able to do theirs. Jacksonville Jaguars, Calais Campbell, Yannick, Marcel Darius, Miles Jack, Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners in the league, period. AJ Bouye, Josh Allen, the linebacker, right? So they got plenty of pieces there. Buffalo Bills are but big ups. Sometimes you live in a place where, people look at you funny because you don't root for the home team, but you have a connection with them. And I like everything that I'm seeing from the Buffalo Bills. I'm getting more excited every practice that I see, every article that I read, every tweet that John Roberts sends me when I'm getting the inside info. They got pieces. Edmonds, right? At linebacker, animal, right? Ed Oliver could be like the next Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald-ish kind of player. Tre'Davious White already has, made his mark at the cornerback position, right? Hughes, Micah Hyde, Poyer. The list goes on and on and on with the team. Sean McDermott is a winner. Josh Allen will play better. That'll keep the defense rested, right? John Brown will be able to go deep. Cole Beasley, with that crazy hair, will make rap singles, right? But he'll also get first downs. Bills Mafia. I like the defense moving forward, okay? And then let's move forward. Number 5, Minnesota Vikings. Griffin, Joseph, Hunter, Barr. Thank God he didn't go to the Jets as far as Minnesota fans are concerned. Xavier Rhodes. Rhodes closed, okay? Harrison Smith. Imagine that they're going to have a bounce-back year, right? If Montgomery at running back, the rookie, ends up being like an Alvin Kamara, right? They have a chance to repeat the Bears. They're not going to win as many games, though. They'll go from like 12-4 to 11-5. But if the Bears drop down to 9-7 or 10-6, and the Vikings go 10-6 or 11-5, it's going to be because of this defense and Dalvin Cook. I know they're going to get production from Thielen and Diggs and Rudolph, the line, Cousins, right? But Dalvin Cook and that defense, big part of the team. When Dalvin Cook went down, the team went down the shitter, okay? Vikings defense is legit. I think they're going to have a bounce-back year. Dallas Cowboys, right? Number 4. DeMarcus Lawrence, Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, Sean Lee, Byron Jones. Who? Byron Jones. We damn boys, right? And he even got Robert Quinn. I know he's got a suspension for like a couple games, right? But he's going to be a nice piece that he'll give him something. I'm not sure what he's going to give you. Hopefully not another suspension, right? But the Cowboys defense, to me, has holes, right? But they have good coaching. Not from the head coach, but from the D coordinator, O-line coaches, D-line coaches. Their coaching staff works good together. And I like we damn boys in my top 5. Okay? Number 3, Los Angeles Rams. Everyone's sleeping on the Rams. I think that you could say that they're a top 10. You could put them in the top 5. I've been watching a lot on them. Aaron Donald looks like just possessed. I've never seen someone run and do drills faster than him with the footwork and just the hands and just the overall aggression and passion that he has. Look for them to have a better kind of set of games, a stretch of games than maybe last season, right? They had a nice stretch last season as well, but Marcus Peters didn't play good last season. He'll play better. We'll see what Talib can do. We'll see what the other players can do. No more Sue. But I like the roster that they have. And a lot of the teams that are in the top 10 in the defense can all interchange numbers. I don't really have anyone that's above and beyond except for maybe my number 1 team. But 2 through 9 pretty much can rotate everywhere. Look for them to make a move. Number 2, I have, if they only stay healthy. I'm talking about the Los Angeles Chargers. All right? Bosa, injury prone. I get it, right? Melvin Ingram, one of the most underrated players at linebacker in the league, period. Keenan Allen is another underrated player on the offense at wide receiver. Derwin James, my favorite safety in the league right now, not named Jamal Adams. Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, Derwin James, Jamal Adams. Big facts, okay? Tillery, Adderley. They got a lot of weapons there. Player for player, you can argue that the Chargers, if they stay healthy, have one of the best defenses, period. And then number 1, my best defense in the league, if you check the thumbnail, we're going into Chicago. The Bears, right? They got pieces on pieces on pieces. To me, they have the most depth player for player. I mean, you can also go maybe Jacksonville, player for player, 7, 8, 9 deep out of 11. But the impact of the guys that Chicago has is there's no doubt. You just know it. Khalil Mack, amazing player. How many players are better than Khalil Mack in the league right now? Sometimes Von Miller. The only player that you can say right now better than Khalil Mack on a game-in, game-out basis is Aaron Donald, and they don't play the same position, right? Khalil Mack is an animal. Roquan Smith from Georgia is going to step his game up this season, right? You got Akeem Hicks, right? You got HaHa to replace Amos that went to the Packers, right? So that's a nice little addition. Has HaHa been the same since his first couple years? No, he's been trash, right? First couple years good, and then he went bootios, like New Day would say, right? Throw the pancakes out, right? But I think with all these other elite talented players around him, he has no choice to step his game up. HaHa will have a better year. Steady Eddie Jackson. Amazing talent. One of the best players in the NFL already, right? Fuller, dominant, right? Goldman, Trevathan. I mean, what else can I say? Weapons on weapons on weapons. They're going to lead the league in scoring, in my opinion, on defense. Lots of forced fumbles, a lot of touchdowns. Trubisky's going to need it because if they're going to win the division or make a deep run, they need Montgomery to dominate and that defense to dominate. And there's a great chance that both are going to happen. And that's the list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys are lit today. So let's see what here if I go back into the comments. You guys are just litty lit, man. I've just been putting in so much time and effort. But if you guys haven't got a chance to check out the YouTube on your phone or on your computer, check it out. Northwest Sports Fanatics. Check out the banner at the top. Check out the thumbnails. Let me know what you think. You know, I'm really trying to make it a little bit more, appeasing to the eye. And then we're going to give you the great content as well. And then we got awesome fans that just donate left and right, like you guys. Omer, $7.04. Clash of the Horns, $5. Omer, $11.05. Omer, $6.10. Damon P. Aquadio, $2. You guys are the fucking best. You know what I mean? All the effort and all the time and the blood, sweat, and tears, that I put in, to the channel and just talking sports. It just makes me feel good that we have the smartest people in the chat on YouTube, and you guys make it fun for me every day. I'm not going anywhere, and hopefully Marcus can come in as much as he can, but if on the days that he can't, you better believe I'm still grinding. I'm still going to be putting out videos. Gus Johnson, my favorite announcer and one of my mentors, I did a video earlier. If you guys didn't get a chance to check it out, if your notification, gang, something happened with YouTube and it got turned off, turn that bitch on. Check it out. Pretty entertaining video. Let's see here. Let's go through the list. You guys are just all up in the chat today. It's good to see the participation for you guys. Think the Skins are a top 10 defense? No. But I think that their defense is better than people are giving them credit for. Ryan Kerrigan is my favorite player on the Redskins. Okay, he has been since he got drafted. He has consecutive seasons of like 7 sacks pretty much throughout his whole career. And he's like top 6 or 7 that has that stat line. And every other player in those 6, not him, are in the Hall of Fame. Ryan Kerrigan is a Hall of Famer. I don't think people really realize that unless you're really a sport fanatic and you look at the numbers. They need to make sure they get him taken care of. Trent needs to get in the building, right? But I like Jonathan Allen. I like the weapons that they have, right? But they still need a few more pieces. But I like what they've done in the draft, the Redskins, in the last few years. It's been impressive. John Roberts. Bears 1, Bills 2, Chargers 3, Patriots 4, Ravens 5. Yeah, I think the Ravens, like I said, with their secondary, I think they have one of the deepest secondaries, right, in the league. A lot of different pieces that they can move around. But I kind of worry, about the front end, with the guys. No more T-Sizzle, no more C.J. Mosley. That worries me a little bit, so we'll have to see. Man, you guys are just going back and forth, back and forth. Panthers fan. Yeah, so John Roberts, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, that some of their pieces are nice, but I think they're going to be third this year. That's just my personal opinion. I think that Pittsburgh has more of a well-balanced team, and that's even with AB and Le'Veon gone. I think Juju's going to dominate. Kana, the Terminator, James Conner is going to dominate. Big Ben will dominate. The offensive line is one of the best in the league, right? The defense will get right back on track. Shazier out. Devin Bush in. 10 tackles in his first game. No problem. They're going to rally. They're winning the division. And I've been saying it for weeks now, right? And I even think Cleveland will have a chance to make the playoffs, and they're going to get second place. You know what I mean? But I don't think that the Ravens, are going to be that far behind. I mean, the win total between the Ravens and the Browns will probably be a 1-game difference. Just depends if it's 8-8 or 9-7. No clickbait here. Pure facts. Yeah. And that's the thing, you know what I mean? There's a lot of channels out there. It's just a bunch of oohs and ahs, but you know where it's at. I'm going to give you all the work that I have. And it's a lot of time and dedication, you know what I mean? It's like there's times where I get a couple hours of sleep just because I'm on NFL Network or I'm watching tape or I'm reading articles because I literally go every team's website. Think about how much dedication that is to know every name of every player, every coach, every backup. I mean, it's a grind, you know what I mean? But I love it, you know what I mean? Because you got to know what you're talking about and, people respect you, and that's why we're almost at 20K. You know what I mean? And it's only been 2 years. So we need to get to the 20K. If you guys can smash the like button, turn the notifications on, share to your friends, help me out, help Marcus out. Let's grow the channel. Because something's going on with YouTube with the metrics and the analytics. So, I mean, I got to fight it any way that I can. But as long as I'm, trying to put out the best content for you guys, I'm going to do it. And you guys have the best questions, too, out of any chat room that I've seen on YouTube, period. Big facts. Let's see here. If you don't give me my staple, I'm going to burn this place to the ground. Okay. Bautista, Super Bowl predictions. Put me on the spot. So early Super Bowl predictions, right? Obviously with New England, they're always the team to beat with Brady and Belichick, right? No Gronk, but they got N'Keal Harry. And, Sonny Michel's knee is, not right. So I think that their offense isn't going to be on the same level. They had some kind of weeks where they struggled, but with those coaching pieces that they have, a top 10 defense that they have, they're still going to be the favored team. But, I mean, the teams that I like I'll mention it before, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Colts, right? Patriots kind of, I'm not sold on them fully. So it's hard to go back to back to back to back, so many years in a row, right? But you have Belichick and Brady, so nothing is out of the question or impossible, right? The Colts have injuries with Luck, so that makes me a little nervous. I like Pittsburgh a lot, right? Maybe even more than the Chargers slightly, just, to see where they go. I mean, they're going to have to really prove it to me that they're better than the Chargers. I'm not sure if they're going to be, but they'll probably be like a game off. One team might be 11-5, the other might be 10-6. But I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs as far as the AFC today, right now, based off the moves that they made, not necessarily with McCole Hardman, right, the Georgia wide receiver from the Legion of Zoom, but I'm talking about Honey Badger, Juan Thornhill, right, one of the later draft picks that's going to have a huge impact on the team, getting Frank Clark from the Seahawks, the best player on Seattle's defense, not named Bobby Wagner. It's going to be a big impact. And Mahomes is ridiculous. They have a lot of pieces on that team. Kelsey and Sammy Watkins, Tyreek the Freak Hill, Hardman. I mean, it just doesn't stop. D'Anthony Thomas, if you can even give him anything. I mean, they got weapons on weapons on weapons. So Kansas City, I think, has a great chance to represent. That's kind of, as of right now, that's who I like, right? And then as far as NFC is concerned, I like the New Orleans Saints. I like Fly, Eagles Fly. I like the Eagles, and I like the Rams. But if some team like the Bears were to creep up, I wouldn't really be that shocked, especially with Montgomery's maybe development. But those are the three that I like. I really like New Orleans Saints and the Eagles as my top two. So, depending on if we have an Eagles versus Andy Reid, former team, new team, maybe a Chiefs, Eagles Super Bowl. But the number one, I feel, to me right now, just right now, preseason week 1, I would say Chiefs, Saints. That's what we should have had last year, right? The Saints had heartbreak 2 years in a row, Minneapolis Miracle, knife in the heart, right? Then they had the pass interference call that wasn't called, knife to the heart. They're going to be motivated, and they're going to have a great team this season. So that's my number one. Chiefs is my number one. And then obviously if something happens with the Saints with injuries, with Michael Thomas, MT13, Kamara, any of the pieces on defense, like Cameron Jordan, then I could definitely see in the Eagles, believe it or not, they could make the run. They have the depth. I could see it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, are doubting it. But, I mean, these are the teams that I personally like based off depth, coaching, right? What I'm seeing in practice, what I'm seeing in scrimmages, what I'm seeing in game tape. It's early, but that's who I like right now. Dougie P, underrated coach. Sean Payton, everyone knows how great he is. And Andy Reid, criticized too much, right? Does he fuck up in game managing? Yeah. He didn't get over the top with the Eagles, right? But he's still good enough to win a Super Bowl, and I guarantee they win a Super Bowl within the next 5 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs end up winning 2 in like a 6-year span with the talent that they have if they can keep the core of the roster. Because Big Ben's getting older. Phillip Rivers is getting older. Tom Brady's getting older. Who's going to compete with Mahomes? Who? Baker? Josh Allen? Sam Darnold? There's going to be a little gap there when some of the big boys retire. Think about it. And then NFC is the most competitive division in football. You don't know. Usually it's really top heavy. In the AFC, you have like 3 teams, and that's it, right? This year, to me, there's about 6, right? And then in the NFC, there's a clusterfuck of teams. There's probably like 8 teams that could make a deep run. And we've seen wild card teams go all the way. So who knows? Teams that I like I said, New Orleans Saints, Eagles, Rams, right? Those are my 3. Bears, Vikings, Seahawks, Cowboys. All those teams are in the mix. But I like the Eagles and the Saints the most. That's my personal feeling. NFC. And if I had to pick a team, I like probably the Chiefs and the Patriots as my 2 teams in the AFC. I don't like the Patriots, all right? I'm just doing it based off experience, coaching, Brady, Belichick, and the Cheatriot way. They find ways to win. They turn off, right, the devices, the audio and helmets when they need to win. Whatever it takes. Get the ring. The championship, right? But I like where the Colts are going, right? I like where the Bills are going. The Jets are going. I like where a lot of these AFC teams are going. They're in the right direction. Maybe they just have to wait for some of these big, Hall of Fame guys to leave. Big Ben to leave. Flacco to leave. Brady to leave. Rivers to leave. Just get everyone to leave, as far as the older guys. But then also on the flip side, when Breeze leaves, right, and some of the other quarterbacks that are getting a little bit older in the NFC, it's going to open up. But there's a lot more young talent in the NFC as far as, Goff and the Goff fence, Wentz, Dak. There's going to be more wiggle room. And we'll even see. Even guys like Kirk Cousins can make a deep run. Just depends on their defense. Big facts. But that's who I feel right now. You know what I mean? But things could change. Josh Allen is going to win the AFC. John Roberts having just the most confidence in his team. And you know what? Like I said, let's wait until Thanksgiving, right? And if Buffalo goes into Dallas and layeth the smacketh down on that candy ass, we damn boys, if it happens, right? Then everyone will be woke, including your boy and everyone else. Because I know that they're going to play a lot better this season. They have more weapons on offense. They have more depth on defense. The line is better. The defense is better. Ed Oliver, I mean, you're adding pieces, right? It may be a little early, though, to take the Patriots, right? But we'll see. I mean, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for those teams. Haven't been this confident since Flutie. Now, John Roberts, I did a Gus Johnson best of, and there is a Flutie highlight. There's some Bills highlights in there. So I'm not sure if you watched the video yet, but after the stream, go in there and check it out. I think you'll like it. There's quite a few Bills highlights in there. You'll like it if you didn't get a chance to see it just yet. Vikings, he said, skull. Bills will be 6-0 when the Eagles come to town. I think that'll be the Bills' first loss. Wow. That much confidence in your team already, huh? 6-0? A lot of teams don't go 6-0. Who are the first 6 games, John Roberts? Look up on your phone if you don't already know it already and mark it down. I want to see the first 6 opponents that you have on the schedule so I can evaluate your prediction. because I know that you just love your team, and there is hope for your team. And a lot of people are sleeping on the Bills because they think it's the old Bills, right? Or like the old Buccaneers. Oh, they'll never be good. Buccaneers will never be good. The Bills will never be good. The Jets will never be good. Okay, we'll see. And then all of a sudden, the Bills end up getting like second place in the division. Somehow, some way, the Buccaneers creep up to like second or third somehow, some way. Maybe injuries. I mean, anything is possible in the NFL. Worst to first happens. We just don't know who it's going to. First 6 games, so we can evaluate to see what's going on. I'm curious. All right, here you go. Look how fast you were. Number 1, Jets. Rivalry game. That's going to be tough. I'm not sure if that's home or away. Okay, so that could be split. Giants, that's a win. Bengals, that's a win. Patriots, that might be a loss, right? Patriots at home, though. So then you have a little bit of an advantage. I like you guys at home a lot, too. Titans, that's a win. Browns, is that on the road or is that at home? And then Eagles. So for me, when I look at the schedule, more like maybe 4-2, right? And that would be an amazing start for the Bills. You don't got to go 6-0, big guy. You know that. I know you're just saying that because, you love your team. But, even 4-2, everyone's eyes would be open. I mean, shit, even if you go 3-3 and then the games that you lose, if you lose by like field goals, everyone's going to be woke, with them. You know what I mean? But Jets is winnable. Giants is winnable. Bengals is winnable. So you easily could start 3-0. Drop one to the Patriots, even if you're at home, right? 3-1. Beat the Titans. Go 4-1. Maybe beat the Browns. Maybe not. I mean, we'll see. What happens with Baker, and then the Eagles. That's going to be tough. I don't know if you can beat the Eagles. I mean, you'll have to bring all that you have, all the game plan. McDermott, he's got to go into his magic hat of plays and find a way, but we'll see. I mean, I'm excited for you. I hope that they make the playoffs this season. I'm rooting for you. Any of the bottom feeder teams, I'm rooting for them. We'll have to see. Tampa Bay make a trade for Elliott. Well, if we're talking about, trades, I'd rather have Melvin Gordon just because I think that would be easier to attain just because he wouldn't want as much money. I think Zeke wants more money than even what Melvin Gordon is going to be able to, probably, I guess, agree to. Zeke is better than Melvin Gordon, but I think Melvin Gordon would be a better fit for my team. But we'll see. I don't think either of that will get traded. They'll both end up being on the team. So Wentz versus Allen. Yeah, I know that you did lose like 4 or 5 games by only 3, and Allen didn't really play that great, and he didn't really have a lot of weapons and help around him. The defense was good, right? But you didn't really have a lot of pieces. Now you do. So that's what's really gonna, be able to take it to the next level. It says, Nick Foles is a quarterback who succeeds when he has a confidence, but it only lasts a few games. But also, too, you got to remember the talent on the Eagles and the talent on Saxonville is completely different. Yeah, and like I mentioned to you, Damon, you know this. The Eagles are one of my favorite teams, top 3 in the whole entire NFL right now, right? Because of the depth. They have more depth, you could argue, than even the Saints. The only team, as far as depth-wise, I mean, I'm not sure if you could even really argue. The Eagles, player for player, the depth is there. Chargers have depth if they can stay healthy, right? But that's the problem. They can't most of the time. But the depth is really a big key. It's like the Blazers this season, right? Everyone was like, they can't get past the Thunder. They can't get past the Nuggets. I knew that they were going to be able to make a run. And because of what? Like Damon said, depth. If you have a good bench, Rodney Hood, and you have guys that can, step up and make a name for themselves, get trades at the deadline, depth is everything. You got to have it. Cadillac Williams. Imagine having a name as cool as that. Yeah, I mean, too bad he didn't pan out. Him or Muscle Hamster, Doug Martin. I mean, I just don't have good luck with running backs, but I am praying one day that the Bucs have a stud at running back. Somehow, some way. I won't buy his jersey, though, because I only buy defensive jerseys, moving forward. But, defense is number 1 for me, but we'll see what happens. Eagles are my best friend's team. I just converted him to Bills Mafia. Oh, man. It's going to be exciting. Like I said, with a lot of the non-expectation teams, Bucks will surprise people. The Bills will surprise people. The Jets, right? People are talking shit about the Browns, but they're going to play good. Cardinals will surprise people. There's a lot of teams. I think Denver will surprise some people. I don't know if Flacco is going to play great, but, the defense is pretty damn good with Vaughn and Chubb and Harris. So we just kind of have to wait for things to play out. See where it goes. Work done, yeah. Well, my favorite is Mike Allstott. He's the only player on offense that I truly loved. Like, that was my guy. Derek Brooks is my all-time favorite player. Then Warren Sapp, and then Rondé Barber, John Lynch, Simeon Rice, Mike Allstott. And then, if I didn't have guys like Keyshawn, Keenan McCardell, which I loved, Ken Dilger, Joe Juravicius, Michael Pittman. If I didn't have Jeff Christie at center, if I didn't have certain guys, and Gruden, Brad Johnson, they just never would have been able to get it done. But the defense was special. And what made the defense so good is Monty Kiffin. You had guys like Dexter Jackson, won the MVP with 2 picks. Dwight Smith, two pick sixes in the game. Who? When? You know what I mean? It's crazy. But that's NFL for you. When you have a stacked roster like that. It was exciting times for me back then. Let's see here. I made Mike Allstott in Madden 20 for the Legends roster. I was gonna do a Mike Allstott video. They had this kind of special that they just came out with NFL Throwback, kind of having an interview with him and showing the highlights of his career at Purdue all the way to the Super Bowl and then past that. I might react to that tomorrow. There's a lot of Mike Allstott stuff that I want to be able to put out there just to kind of let people remember the best fullback to ever play the game, Mike Allstott. And he was so good he could play halfback half the time too. But scary. Allstott in Madden, I could just imagine. I definitely want him on my team. I still haven't got Madden yet because I've been grinding so much on the channel. So let's see here. I know you had a question. Do you think Gerald McCoy is an all-time Buccaneer? Kid KD, I know we had the talk on the article today. Warren Sapp called him out, if you guys didn't see the article, saying that, that they should retire his number, Ring of Honor. And he said that, you didn't even win, playoff games, and you only had 2 winning seasons. I respect Gerald McCoy. I liked Gerald McCoy when he was there, but there's a big difference between Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber. All those guys are Hall of Fame in my eyes, and Mike Allstott too. Right? Gerald McCoy at this point is a really good player, but he's not Hall of Fame. Not yet. If he can still have another maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years with the Panthers and be all pro or Pro Bowl and dominate, help maybe the Panthers win a Super Bowl, then that'll change maybe people's perception a little bit. But I still root for him a lot. You know what I mean? I was hurt when he left, but I am looking forward to see his progression, him sacking the shit out of Jameis, and, giving him some crab legs to go. But the Panthers defense to me in the NFC South is going to be maybe the most exciting defense to watch, this season in the NFC South. Better than the Bucks, better than the Falcons, right? Saints have some great players. When Cameron Jordan, Sheldon Rankins is nice. Lattimore is on the up and up, right? But as far as depth, with Kuechly, Burns, McCoy, and the rest, they're going to be fun. And I know a lot of Panther fans are going to be getting that Burns jersey. I was telling people even like a month ago how great he was. You know what I mean? He'll sell more than McCoy. He might even outsell Cam, to be honest. He's that good. Run CMC, Luke Kuechly, Burns. Those are probably, and then Cam. Cam might scale back as far as like popularity and for jersey sales, because Burns is going to be such a fucking animal. You know what I mean? I'm jealous. Love him a lot. Okay, I see you. But yeah, I don't think that, Omer has got to go. Looking forward to opening week. Rams at Panthers could be a preview of the NFC playoffs. Good night. Omer, thank you so much for the donations. I appreciate you. You're one of the number one fans on Northwest Sports Fanatics, not just based off your donations, but the things that you bring up, the comments you bring up, and just being in the room. I appreciate you so much, and as well as everyone else that donated today. Damon P. Aquadio, Clash of the Horns. Obviously, he's a big Rams guy. He has a YouTube channel. He's on Twitter, so you can follow him as well if you guys like the Rams. But appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are so gracious. It's a minute. Let's see, how long has it been? It's been about an hour and 35 minutes in the stream. Like I said, I can keep going for a little bit longer, depending on the questions that you guys have and what you guys want to talk about. But I still need to work out. And then I got to go to my full-time job. So fire away. If anyone's got questions, donations, comments, anything that you guys want to go over here in the next maybe 10 minutes, I'll stay on for another probably 10 and then go over that. And then at that point, I'll call it a night. And then after I'm done working out, maybe I'll even do another video after that. The grind is real. But I'm here for at least a few more minutes. So let's see here. Damon P. Aquadio, he's, I want to collab with you and Marcus. I think there's a lot of people that, that would be interesting to collab with, Obviously, if you guys follow YouTube, the ones that really stand out to most people are us, right? And the Sports Fury, right? Sports Fury's from Texas. You got a Bears fan, you got a Cowboys fan. That would be interesting. You know what I mean? If there was some kind of collaboration there, because I feel as far as duos are concerned, we're the ones that I think are the most popular. We have good chemistry. They have good chemistry. It'll be one of those things. There's other duos that are out there and other single YouTubers that, do some NBA or MLB or NFL. But yeah, collaborations could be one of those things down the road. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. But I'm going to try to do a little bit more of everything. I'm putting in the grind. Soccer videos, Messi, Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, rugby videos like we used to do. I know we got a lot of fans in Australia, New Zealand. I might be able to bust those out. We're going to be getting into the World Series in a few months. College football is right around the corner. NBA is going to be amazing. So I'll be grinding. Let's see here. Who is the best sports channel on YouTube? Northwest Sports Fanatics, motherfucker! You know it is. I'm going to give you the big facts, baby. Most entertaining as well. I don't think anyone's got my knowledge, though. I respect anyone else that has a YouTube channel, Sports Fury, anyone that puts in the grind, and puts in the work. But as far as knowledge is concerned, I don't think there's anyone that can touch me. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm the biggest free agent right now on YouTube. And we're going to keep grinding away and being here for you guys, because that's what we do. John Roberts, Northwest Sports Fanatic, duh. Mohamed Salah, he's the best goal scorer I've seen. Okay, that might be one of the things I get into. I'll start taking suggestions, and I'm going to start getting into the grind. Jeremiah Burras, or did you just hop in the room, my guy? So I'll go over the list for you, because I do that for everyone. I don't leave anyone behind. Let's see here. Let me scroll back up real quick. Thoughts on Brad Johnson overall? A journeyman like Rich Gannon. I couldn't have won it without him. One of the smartest quarterbacks that ever played that doesn't get recognition. John Gruden's playbook was so extensive. It was 20 words, right, for one play. Have you ever watched Chris Sims trying to break down the plays? And, he couldn't do it. It's one of those things that's 2005, 2007, 2004, whenever it was. It's hilarious because it's such an extensive playbook, but I'll always be indebted to Brad Johnson. People remember him on the Vikings and on a lot of other different teams, but I'm blessed that Brad Johnson came over when he did. Same thing with Simeon Rice and Michael Pittman and Gruden, because without him, the Super Bowl wouldn't have happened. So I really do have mad respect for Brad Johnson. Let me go over the list for you, Jeremiah. Let's see here. He said, yes, write it down, media. Northwest Sports Fanatics is the best. Appreciate that. Let's see here. All right, Jeremiah, I'm going to go on the list for you. So here we go. So I had a couple honorable mentions, so we'll go into it. One of them was the Patriots. They're in my top 10, right? You got Stephon Gilmore, the best corner in the league. Jamie Collins is coming back, which is going to be great for them. right? Michael Bennett is going to be dirty, but he's going to be efficient. Kyle Van Noy, one of the most underrated players in the NFL, period. McCourty Bros, Patrick Chung. That defense, they're going to help Tom Brady more than likely get to the AFC Championship game again, right? And don't sleep on them. Very good. Another honorable mention, the Jaguars. Calais Campbell, Yannick, Marcel Darius, Miles Jack, Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners, period. AJ Bouye, Josh Allen, the draft pick. Very deep. They're not going to be like last year. They'll be better. Are they good enough to win the division? I don't know. I like the Colts a little bit more. Texans maybe even a little bit more than them. Third place over Tennessee. Tennessee last, Jacksonville, and then maybe Houston and then the Colts first. But I love the Jaguars defense. A bunch of ballers on that team. Okay? Another honorable mention, right? Buffalo Bills. I think that they're top 5, 6. They're right there in the mix. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to put them anywhere from 2 to 6 because I really love them a lot. Edmonds is a baller. Ed Oliver could be a Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald-ish kind of guy from Houston, right? If you watch Houston college football, if you saw University of Houston, he's a beast, right? Tre'Davious White has already made an impact. Hughes, Micah Hyde, Poyer, right? They got weapons on offense. John Brown's the deep threat. Cole Beasley has got the best hair in football, right? Rap singles, right? First downs. He can do it all. Josh Allen is going to take off. He'll probably take off more than any QB from last season's stats to this season. The biggest improvement out of any NFL player, Josh Allen, this season. Buffalo Bills, dominant. They have a good chance to make it, okay? Then we go into the Minnesota Vikings at 5. Everson Griffin, Linval Joseph, Danielle Hunter. They got Anthony Barr back from the Jets. He said, I'm going to the Jets. And then C.J. Mosley went there, and he said, I'm coming back. So, as far as Vikings fans, Skol is concerned, they're happy because now it gives them a chance to compete with the Bears and win the division. And you got Xavier Rhodes. Rhodes closed. He'll have a better year this year, and so will Harrison Smith. I love the Vikings defense. Number 4, the Cowboys. We damn boys, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, Jalen Smith, Van Der Esch, Sean Lee, Byron Jones. Who? Byron Jones. Who? Byron Jones, right? And you even got Robert Quinn. Just a sprinkle in a little Robert Quinn. Suspended for a couple games, but if he gives them anything, that's going to help them be a little bit better. Number 4. Number 3. So believe it or not, even though I like the Bills maybe more in the number 3 position, I think the Rams are kind of a sleeper. Talib is older. Yeah. Marcus Peters played shitty last year. Yeah. Aaron Donald is the best player in the NFL right now, not named Patrick Mahomes. Khalil Mack is right behind him, Von Miller and a couple of these other guys, right? But Aaron Donald's going to make everybody better. I like Wade Phillips. I like the defense. They're going to score a lot of points this season. The offense, right? Cooper Kupp is back. Even if Gurley is injured, the Rams should have a solid team on both sides of the ball. Number 2, the Chargers, right? When healthy, you could argue they have player for player the best defense in the league, but they get banged up a lot. So this number at number 2 for the Chargers is only if they stay healthy. Joey Bosa, he could play 12 games and get you 10 sacks. And the only other player that could probably do that is his brother, Nick, on the Niners. And guess what? He's hurt too. So unfortunately, the Bosas are amazing talents, but they get injured a lot, right? Melvin Ingram, one of the most underrated linebackers in the league, period, right? Derwin James, my favorite safety in the league, not named Jamal Adams. Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, Derwin James, Jamal Adams. See the connection? This is the future of the NFL at safety. Tillery, Adderley in the draft. Pieces on pieces on pieces. Verrett is gone. He wasn't reliable. He's on the Niners now, right? I like the Chargers defense. And number 1, if you saw the thumbnail, you know who it is. It's the Bears. The Chicago Bears. Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith from Georgia, Akeem Hicks, Clinton Dix, Eddie Steady Jackson, right? You got Fuller, right? You got Goldman. You got Trevathan. Pieces on pieces on pieces. The most depth on defense, player for player. The big question, Vic Fangio out, right? He was a big part of the success. Now he's Denver's head coach. But who do they have? Chuck Pagano. Do not sleep on him. We saw what he did with the Colts. I think he's going to do a fantastic job. And it's all going to depend on the defense and Montgomery, the rookie, the 3rd rounder. If he can start and have Tariq Cohen with him, Trubisky's numbers are better. They will play better, and the defense will be elite. They'll lead the league in scoring and in points, takeaways, forced fumbles, fucking shit up the Chicago Bears. That's my list. So hopefully, and that was not ESPN or Fox Sports or Colin Cowherd. It's me doing the research, watching the tape, watching the practices, reading the articles, and there's a little wiggle room. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the Bills to me, within the first couple weeks, I'll probably have them in the top 3. I'll probably slide the Chargers and the Rams down a few spots, right? Vikings and the Bills will probably go up. And it'll probably be Bears, Bills, Vikings. Jaguars might move up too. You know what I mean? It's all week to week. You know what I mean? But there's certain teams that I feel the depth and the momentum and just how great Aaron Donald has been playing in the last couple seasons. Where are them Falcons fans at? There are some, but they usually only show up when they play the Saints in the video. I mean, I'll see them in there in the comment section, and they'll be arguing back and forth. But we'll probably have a few in here at some point. Oh, and also, too, the Panthers. Obviously, I have them in the mix as well. That's a no-brainer. McCoy, Burns, Poe, Kuechly. The only problem with the defense on the Panthers side is I need a little bit more depth in the secondary. Get me a really solid corner that I can believe in for years to come, even though they got one that they're working on, and then maybe some better safety help. And then the front 7 is already legit. You know what I mean? There's not maybe a better 7 in the league right now, especially with Burns taking off, like Javon Curse, the freak. I'm going to have to come up with another nickname besides Spida, right? Brian Spida Burns, right? I'll come up with my unique nickname for him, because I love him a lot. But there'll be others too. Lions D-line will be as good on paper. As far as the rest of the team, is concerned, they got, Davis linebacker, from Florida, and then they end up having, big play Slay and, Glover Quinn. You had some pieces last year with those 2 guys, but the D-line is legit. Pro Football Focus had their D-line all rated over an 80. So sometimes Pro Football Focus is underrated or overrated, but I do like the D-line for the Lions, and that's big facts. I think that we'll see what happens. I know some people think that the Lions might even beat the Packers, in the NFC North. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, it could be Bears, Vikings, Lions, Packers. I mean, based off injuries and maybe LaFleur not getting along with A-Raj. I mean, but realistically, it's probably going to be Vikings, Bears, Packers, Lions, or Bears, Vikings, Packers, Lions. But I don't have the Packers being better than the Vikings or the Bears this season, even with A-Raj. You know what I mean? I just don't think that they have enough stability and, balance compared to those other 2 teams. So I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make sure I got that in one more time for everyone. Going over, I think Omer already left with the donations. Omer, Clash of the Horns, Omer, and Damon P. Aqua Dio. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. Go to the YouTube and check out the new banner. Right? Check out all the thumbnails. Check out all the videos. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Turn the notifications on. Smash the like button. And do me a favor and Marcus a favor. Tell some friends. If you like our channel and, you like me and you feel that we do a great job and put in the effort and you guys have an entertaining show each day, help me out. Help us get 20K, subs. I know we're going to get there naturally, but if you guys can help us out, it'll be much appreciated. Everyone that donated, much appreciated. You guys are the best. And like I said, I got to work out, do some more research, and I got a lot more tape to watch. And right now we have the American Championship. We got Memphis versus UCF. So I'll probably take a look at that too because I love college football, which is coming up as well. 6 Inc. See you later, Orion. You rock. Hey, 6 Inc. Turn your notifications on. Check into your YouTube. There's something going on with it. I apologize that you ended up missing it. And also, I end up having the Gus Johnson video. If you didn't check that out as well. And you can see that. But one question for you guys. Who talk sports like us? Northwest Sports Fanatics. And you guys are the best. I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Peace.